Hello, beautifuls. Welcome. I have done a blog post on this before, but I think it was a written blog post. So I decided to do a video on this today because I get a lot of questions about this. So this is colour correcting. Now, if you don't know what colour correcting is, you've never heard of it, you will have probably seen these strange little crazy coloured concealers in the shops before and thought, what the hell would I do with one of those? Well, I am going to show you. Colour correcting is just that. It is correcting a colour. So for instance, I have lots of red acne breakouts on my face. I get a lot of redness around my nose sometimes. So something that is red in colour, we want to reduce the appearance of it before we apply the foundation. That way we can use less foundation but get maximum coverage. So I'm going to show you on my redness, and I'll also show you on my dark and dry circles in a moment. What we're going to do is take the colour wheel, and you're going to take whatever colour is opposite the colour you want to cover. So whether that's sort of blue tones in your under eyes or redness on the face. So for redness, the colour opposite red on the colour wheel is green. So I'm going to use a green concealer to correct this. This is going to neutralise that redness, calm it all right down. So when I then go in and apply my foundation, it's got a nice even tone to cover. So I'm just going to take this little dabby wand and place it on my most red inflamed areas. Okay, so I get some redness around my nose through the day. I have a little redness here. If you have like rosacea or red thread veins or anything like that, this is a great step. So I've applied that. It looks crazy right now. Don't worry, we're not leaving it like this. And I'm going to take this brush here. This is a Zamira stippling brush, and it has these duo fibres. So it has these black fibres at the bottom and these white fibres at the top. This enables it to blend things out a lot more seamlessly, give it a light sort of feathery effect. So you're not going to see where this green concealer starts and stops. I'm just going to take the brush and I'm just going to, in a pressing motion, press over that. And you can see how much it has softened that concealer and how much it has neutralised all that redness that's underneath. So this brush helps you to be able to blend the product out without taking off all of that pigment. We don't want to remove the green. We've put it there for a reason, to cover that redness. So if you use an applicator that's going to then remove that, like a sponge or a very thick dense brush, it could drag that product back off. We don't want that. I want to keep that pigment on the area we want it, but just soften it so it's not so harsh in your face. All of this green will be covered by the foundation now, and the foundation hasn't got such a tough job on its hands to cover that redness. Because this is a liquid green concealer, this is going to dry down more, so it's going to stick to your face better and last longer throughout the day, which is going to help keep that redness covered for longer as well. Okay, so this next step, I'm going to show you how to cover your dark under eye circles. Now, I know for a lot of people, this can feel like an impossible task. So I'm going to show you the easiest and quickest way to cover your dark under eye circles without having to apply tons of product. What you want to do first is get up close and personal with your eyes. Okay, I'm talking close and personal. Okay, close and personal. You want to have a look at what the actual colour of your dark under eye circles. We use the word dark and we throw that word around a lot, but there is actually a colour that is underneath there, and that is what is showing through. So for instance, it may be purple tones in this area here. Mine are purple in tone, as you can maybe see on the camera, I'm not 100% sure. And the worst area is usually this center part here. So if you get up close and personal, have a look. It could be purple, it could be more towards the blue side, it could be more sort of blue-green tone, or it could be almost sort of like an ashy, shadowy, grey, browny tone. Yeah, you know what I mean. So if it's purple, you want to use yellow. If it's blue or blue-green, then you want to use a peachy, salmon pink kind of tone. If it is more along the lines of dark sort of shadowy grey brown tones, then you would want to use something that's a bit more of a terracotta in tone like this. Okay, I hope that has simplified it for you. There will be other tones. So for instance, mine has purple, it has some yellowy tones. You want to look for what the most prominent colour is. Mine is purple. Okay, purple. And that's what we're going to colour correct. So for me, I'm going to use yellow because mine are more purple in tone. So you want to take your little wand and really you want to apply it to where it actually needs it. So as I said, looking at your eyes, dark and dry circles usually start in this corner and they kind of come down a little bit to here. This outer corner isn't usually, not always, but isn't usually the darkest point. So you want to make sure you colour correct in the darkest area. So I'm just going to apply it to that area like so. And I'm then going to take good old stippling brush again. And I am just going to press that into the skin. So it's going to push it into the skin and help to cover that dark veining, dark under eye circles. And then I'm just going to sort of move it over. Okay, so we want most of the product, most of the pigmentation to be on this inner corner here, because that's where it's the darkest. So I will start off there and then whatever's left on the brush, I just kind of move it over like so. I'm going to do the same on this side. So I'm going to push it into the skin and I'm going to move it over like so. You want to have a look and see if you need to apply any more. I would always say start off with a smaller amount. You can always build up, but you can't take it away. And also bear in mind that you are going to apply foundation on top of this and possibly concealer if you want to. So it doesn't need to be completely eradicated, just as long as it has toned it right down. And you can see it has completely neutralized that purple toning, that darkness in my under eye area. So now when I go ahead and apply my foundations and my concealers, that coloring that we wanted to hide, that darkness, has been neutralized. So it gives it a much more even tone to cover. And it will help to hide your dark and dry circles for the day. If you have a lot of dark veining on the top of your eyes as well, you can colour correct there. Again, it's usually in this very inner corner, kind of follows the same rule as underneath. And that's it. It really is that simple. So hopefully now you understand what these crazy coloured concealers that you've probably seen in some of the shops are. You can get these in a lot of places, you know, the usual drugstores, Boots, Superdrug. So this is just with the foundation on and no other products, and you can see all of that redness is covered, the dark under eye circles are much more covered. So this is a nice neutral base now to apply the rest of my makeup.